Do you hear the captain sing, crying out across the stars? It is the anthem of the players, crushed beneath the endless charge.
When the packs are 99 and the servers barely run, then the game becomes a prison and the players say,
we're done.
Will you join the cause today? Raise your banners through the void. Stand together as a people. Make the galaxy annoyed. When the credits fuel the chains and the joy is sold away, we will fight for what was promised and we'll take the game we play. Will you buy or will you fight for a fleet that's truly free? Will you pay $100 just to grind the same debris? Same debris. Same debris.
From the Borg to Romulan space, from the stars to Klingon war, every captain swears together we won't pay them anymore.
Do you hear the captain sing of the bugs they will not bear, of the lag that steals the battles, of the devs who do not care?
When the players take a stand and the cash flow starts to fall,
And the overlords will answer to the captain's one and all. This is more than just a game.
it's the fleets we've built with pride.
But yeah, I'm glad you liked the lyrics, my friend. I actually wrote all those songs. There's a whole bunch of AI songs that wrote the lyrics, and we've got, between this year and last year, we've got like 57 songs, something like that. Anyway, I hope you are having a great weekend. Welcome in. It's Sunday. It's an almost phenomenon day. But more important than that, it is the day where we discuss the anniversary events. Week one here in STFC's 2-week break that we're going to have. Remember, rule of thumb. And I like to get stuff like this out in the beginning of live streams because not everybody knows this and not everybody's going to watch all, 1.5 hours of this. So if you don't know, check your calendars. When you see a month upcoming that has 5 Tuesdays in it. In fact, December, yup, you guessed it, 5 Tuesdays in December, you're going to see a 2-week break preceding that month. That is what we have here. So we'll be talking about the week one events of this go around. Welcome in, everybody. Hope you're having a fantastic weekend. And yeah, it's great to see you. Shout out to Edward, Scott, John, Kal-El, James, Donald, Alvin, King Kuko, Eddie, Mike. Good to see you, Mike. Roberton, SS Kula. Ooh, I love that name. Top Dasher, William, Stingray, Kevins. Welcome in, everybody. As y'all coming in, do me a huge solid while you're here. Invite your alliance mates in. Anybody that's online in your group, say, hey, look, Rev's talking. We're going over the events. You're probably going to want this information. So get them in here so that they're aware of what's happening this week. And I will say this. Yeah, there's some good stuff. Yeah, I know. Darn it. We're not supposed to say nice things about Scopely, but you know what? They communicated very well. They did. They've communicated well. And there's good things here that need to be known, because if you don't know them, you might just ignore them. So there's some updates to Crucible of War. There are some updates to Faction Hunt. And we've got a slew of events, whether you're level 20 or level 70, that need to be focused on. So good to see everybody in here today. And hopefully we'll have what I hope will be, some fun. Yeah, I've got to do away teams today. We've got an easy Battle Pass event. My problem, I forgot to start away teams yesterday with this account. I collected all my away teams and I forgot to start more. So Rev's gonna be using speed ups. Yeah, it's gonna be good content. Speed ups. Dinwitt says, I'll wait to see how the events actually play out. Wouldn't be the first time a good sounding announcement turns sour. Now, that's completely fair, Dinwitt. I will point out this, what we're going to talk about here with Crucible War updates. It's something that and I'm not saying that to take credit, I'm just saying that to, hey, this is why feedback matters. I and other CCs, mods, etc. have all been fighting for Crucible of War to get updates. I've been hinting at it here for the past month or so by telling y'all, hey, we're not going to let them forget about Crucible of War and stuff. And I've definitely been banging on it. I've gotten to talk to a couple people who, were like, yep, we get where you're coming from. So We will see some updates for some players. Some of you might not be super excited about that, but again, we'll go over that here in just a second as more and more people come in. Now, good updates or like Syndicate Tournament Task update. Now, that is fair. Like, for example, if they, because I don't know this, let me just be completely transparent. Well, I do know that these are improving. I don't know if it's one of those, like, for example, Faction Hunt, where we talk about Faction Hunt's obviously a grind hostile metric. Well, maybe they improved the rewards, but now you got to grind 4 times as much as you were grinding before. I don't know that. So before anybody gets to like, oh, Rev's, you know, smoking the Scopely ganja, not what I'm saying, not what I'm doing. We're not in that deep. Nope, not this guy. Maybe that guy over there, not this one. We're not in that deep. But we will still call out good things when they're good, and communication's good. That's good. We like that. And Sigma materials, Sigma resources for G6, G7 players is good. So we'll see what the numbers look like when we get them. Oh my gosh, light, stop. Really need to get around to actually just, I have the other one just sitting right there. But he's like become like the stepchild that I love to hate. Anyway, you wait for the other shoe to drop as always with Scopely. Well, I'd argue the other shoe already dropped, right? Like if you're looking for something bad to happen, just look at the month of November. If you're a G5 plus player, that already happened. So I like to think of this more as, and I actually feel like this is how it's been for the past couple months. Y'all tell me if you disagree. I feel like the interim weeks have been the best weeks in the past few months. So if anything, this is par for the course where you're actually getting everything being better in the break period of how things have been recently. Now, y'all, I'm actually curious if y'all agree with that. Maybe that is just a recency bias thing, but I really do believe we've gotten really good updates during the bye weeks to a lot of the interim events. We've gotten just a better event structure. So if anything, I feel like this is actually how things have been for a few months now. So it makes me believe it more if that means anything. If there's a group of the live ops people that, you know, we're really frustrated with, it's the people who are actually running the monthly structures, not the ones who've been doing the interim runs. You know, that person that gets in charge of like the random week between an arc. I feel like it's those people that we've been really mad at. People we've been mad at, you know, has been the ones running the 3-week-long processes. So anyway, let's go ahead and put on the screen this event run, and let's start talking about what's going to be happening this week. So here you go. Here's the posting, and what, of course, we're going to discuss it. So Dozer says 100%. That's why I'm waiting for them to bork it. Yeah, well, hopefully not. You know, look, I know I'm annoying, but I'm going to be the year of positivity. So Frederick says this is the year of hell for STFC. It's no coincidence that the first arc was called Year of Hell. I'll be honest, Frederick, while I agree, there's a debate. What's worse, 2025 in STFC or 2023? We actually talked about this on Twitch, and the YouTube crowd is definitely a different crowd. So whether you watch this video after the fact, comment down below, or if you're watching now, feel free to share your opinion if you were playing there. But which was worse, 2023 or 2025 for you? Comment. I'll be honest, I think that 2023 beats it by a nose, but because we're in 2025, we immediately want to run to 2025. The difference for me is 2023 had the same level of stability issues, had the same level of communication issues, had the same level of, you know, gameplay issues. The difference is 2025 has got a lot of great, and I'm sorry, it is great. And if you don't say it's great, you're lying to yourself. Great quality of life improvements this year. I mean, we've gotten tremendous quality of life that did not happen in 2023. That's the difference maker. We had horrible arcs. We have those now, right? We had horrible communication. We've had that now, although I'm giving them credit for good communication this week. But the thing that sets 2025 apart is you've had incredible quality of life improvements, whether you're level 30 or 70. You know, so that's a big one. That's a big one. The IA, bulk refine, you know, repair speed up, well, any speed up, auto button. I mean, we've got a lot of great quality of life. Now, there's a lot of other problems, and I think we should acknowledge those, but that's the saving grace of, like, we talk about Year of Hell. 2025 has blessed us with a lot of good things, even if it's gotten on our freaking nerves. But anyway, let's start talking about what we got coming up. So to celebrate the 7th anniversary, there'll be a special set of events revolving around an actual story with Quark, and it's going to be stealing Cisco's baseball, which I'll be honest, that's a very Star Trek thing. Actually, let me recenter this real quick. It's a little bit too far off to the right. So there will be some fun stuff there. Anyway, a limited time casino on D Space Nine, but Cisco would never approve, so Quark hatches a daring plan to steal Cisco's prized baseball to make his dream a reality. The anniversary heist begins. So it is nice to have a little bit of talking. Why we're stealing a baseball, like that's going to change Cisco's mind, who knows? But hey, I didn't ask them to actually come up with a believable Star Trek story. I asked them to come up with events that we can do. And you do have that. So let's go ahead and start talking about the events that we can actually do. So during the 2-week interim period, there'll be a 2-week long meta events. Sorry, there'll be 2, week-long meta events. So 2 space week, not 2 week, but 2 1 week. Commanders Ops 20 through 80 can complete them by claiming 6 of 7 daily gifts each week. So they even give you a little bit of leeway to spend time with your family on Thanksgiving if you're American. So, finishing a meta will award an anniversary officer token redeemable for a quarter of an epic officer unlocked from a select list, which means over a 2-week period, you're going to get half of an epic officer. That's pretty good just for being there every day and logging in. So, give players 2 tokens per week to earn during the celebration. Don't forget to log in and join for the details. All right, blah, blah, blah. Starting with Monday's events. Monday's events. The Ferengi episodes are always the best ones. Hey, the Ferengis had some great episodes. You're telling me that Quark and the gang traveling back to, what was it, 1960s, 1950s USA wasn't amazing? Was it the 50s or the 40s? I actually remember it wasn't the 60s. It was like the 40s or the 50s. I have to go rewatch DS9 now. But you tell me that wasn't great content? Stop lying to yourself, Zach. It's amazing content. House of Quark. Now, that was a great episode. That was actually a fantastic episode. All right. Monday, starting tomorrow, this is for all players. We've got the anniversary celebration meta, so claim your gift chest. We just talked about that. The heist ticketed events and regular heist events for the meta. So you have an SMS and an AMS. Obviously, as an alliance, we'll be working on the AMS. Anniversary heist, we have the Federation sweep, so just defeat Federation hostiles. And last but not least, a heavy hitters, which is a damage SLB for defeating hostiles. Now, XALB, remember, what does that mean? That's a cross-server leaderboard. So you will not just be going against your friends or your enemies. You'll be going against a lot of people that you probably don't talk to very often. But it is grindable, so a lot of people ask for grind-style events. There you go. Have fun. Do remember that if you hit your daily hostile limit, it won't stop this event from scoring. Now, you won't get rewards from the drops, but if you're one of those players that says, hey, what's the point of this when I can only hit 2,500 hostiles in a day? Do remember, it does not count for actual event metrics. That only counts for rewards dropped from hostiles. So make sure you get your dailies and stuff done. If you decide to do any type of hardcore grinding, it'll still count for the event if you decide to grind 5,000 hostiles tomorrow. If you're going to be that person, will Rev be that person? Spoiler alert, no, I will not. All right, Tuesday, which I'll be honest with y'all have a video Tuesday. I will not be around much because I'll be having Thanksgiving with the in-laws, but Crucible of War returns, which I am very excited about. We'll talk about why here in just a second. But X events, we don't like those. Worse, the SLBs. Stingray, I hear what you're saying, but here's where you're wrong. And I'm saying this as politely as possible. You clearly have forgotten that regional leaderboards exist, or you've not reached a level where regional leaderboards affect you yet. If you think crossover leaderboards are bad, try the ones that start with an R. Yeah, those are the worst ones. Those are the worst ones. Now, again, that isn't meaning that you're a bad person. You're just wrong. I'm just kidding, buddy. I hope you're having a great weekend. So we've got Crucible of War returning. Then we have the anniversary heist starting the Flash Pass. So there will be a couple Flash Passes here. Shocker, ladies and gentlemen. Flash Passes. But Jem'Hadar Intercept SMS is defeating Dominion. Kind of surprised they gave this to lower levels, down to Ops 20, because that loop doesn't start until you get to the Bajor loop, though it is technically possible to get there earlier. And I do want to point out that with the power creep in today's game, Dominion hostiles are incredibly weak. So if you are like a level 28 player out there, don't think, oh, it's impossible for you to do. If you have the warp range, you can do those Dominion hostiles. They are not very difficult, and you can punch up pretty far on them. Just as a reminder for maybe some of you who have been around for a while and maybe have forgotten about this loop, or you're a new player and have no idea. So that loop can be found, back to the game real quick, So just go to territory, go straight north. It's going to be this purple area, and it starts right here. And again, like rocking, yes, it's a level 36 system, but this is an old system. This is from many, many, many moons ago. So it is not a difficult system with only a warp range of 35, which you can get to that in the upper 20s. Again, it's the lower 20s being included in that I don't really get, but it's a little bit deceptive. Like you feel like, wow, that's not fair. Honestly, if you're out there right now and you're level 28 and you can't beat this hostile, you're doing something very, very wrong. So the only limiting factor there will be the warp range. I will monitor that. If there's a lot of complaints about that from our lower 20s players, I'll see if Scopely will do something about that. Or if they manage to do what they've been doing, which is they include Dominion hostiles as the primary, and then they have a scoring metric for regular hostiles instead, then it'll be okay. But it is something for noting for you lower level players out there. Those hostiles are super weak compared to today's content. You know, a level 36 is not the same as if a level 36 aggregation is there. They are not the same. All right, so we got the aggregation intercepts, which is going to be for the upper stage players, level 45 through 80, which is defeating aggregation hostiles, a bonus scoring for using the Dauntless active ship ability if you have a Dauntless. Kal-El, good to see you, by the way, as well as, is that 3 of 9? 3 of 9, good to see you. Those events also tend to give points for regular hostiles. Yeah, exactly. So as long as they do that, it's fine, but I do want to point out that if you are a lower level player, you can do the hostile grind. Like, don't be, what I'm really trying to get across is don't feel like you can't get the bonus points for actually doing Dominion hostiles. Those hostiles are from several years ago, very weak, easy for everybody to do. Level 28s can breeze through that without even having a max 28. So, and then we have, of course, the ticket events. Moving on to Wednesday, we have the Black Friday pass because, and every year, everybody asks me, Rev, does Star Trek Fleet Command do Black Friday? The answer is both yes and no. To this point, I have never seen STFC take like $100 pack and say, guess what? It's actually $75 today. Never happened. Here's what they do. They take the pack that existed, keep it $100, and then they increase whatever's in it. So for those of you who are spenders in the chat, I know there are a few of you. Look, I'm not trying to shame you, but there's 200 people here right now on a blessed Sunday. You're ignoring Jesus and spending money on Scopely. So I see you. I'm looking through the camera right at you. I know you're there. It's okay. I'm not judging you, but maybe a little. So that's how they tend to do it, is you're not going to actually see a $100 pack be $50, but you will see those $100 packs shoot up in price. Or I'm sorry, in rewards. Not in price. That would be terrible. But yeah, you're going to see the rewards. All right, so anyway, anniversary heist, domination run, gain power via research, defense platforms, building, and dry docks. I do want to point out that this domination run is not the domination run that you get during the battle pass, which includes officer and ship XP. So be warned, for many of you, this should be easy to do, but remember, different type. Now, it might have synergy with a battle pass event. The battle pass one will probably use ship XP and officer XP. But specifically, this is going to be your regular SMS that they run as an event. That is not BP, so keep that one in mind. Thursday, happy Thanksgiving to all you Americans out there. Love you, Americans. You've got Klingon Diversion. I'm glad that that's on Thursday, so I don't have to do it. It's for all Ops 20-plus players, but how dare you insinuate we should hurt Klingons? And then there's a ticket event for the anniversary heist. Defeat hostiles, bonus points for using an interceptor. For those who haven't caught on so far, a lot of these ticket events are going to cost some scratch. Just FYI if you weren't sure. FYI if you weren't sure. Friday, though, we got a slew of events that are opening up, including the return of Faction Hunt. So we've got Faction Hunt LB, which is an Alliance LB. I know my Alliance on Server 20 will be going after it. So we've got the Klingon hunt the Romulans, Romulans hunt the Feds, Feds hunt the Klingons. Y'all have done that before. There is going to be 3 of them. Right? Three of them. So runs for 24 hours each day from the 28th through the 1st. There's going to be all weekend long. Faction Hunt, Faction Hunt, Faction Hunt. Then you have the Anniversary Height Armada Probe, which you can be doing for FKR Armadas. But you also get points for doing Jem'Hadar solos, Krenim entities, and Borg type solos. So Now, the only thing I don't know here on this one is, does that include Borg solos as well? Remember, Borg type solos are different than Borg solos, because who needs to actually know what's going on? Be confused. It's okay. Be confused. Yay. Yeah, for those that don't remember, there are different types of Borg armadas in the game. Let me show you specifically what they're referencing. Rotate. The Borg Type 3 armadas are going to be in the Q Continuum systems right here. The ones that are tied to the USS Revenant. So the original Borg solos that many of you are used to are going to be like these out here. These are the Borg spheres. And then you have the really, really old school that aren't solo. Where are they? Oh my gosh, it's been so long. You have the Borg Mega Cube, but that's not solo, but it's still out there. So anyway, they're specifically referring to the ones found in these systems here via the USS Revenant. That is important because if we're talking about doing armadas, remember, this is an Ops 20 Plus event, but Ops 20 Plus does not have access to Borg type solos or Crenums, though some of them will have access to the Jem'Hadar solos. So, Silly Rev, don't warn us. Let's have the same conversation about reading comprehension that my server alliance has every time there's a Borg type event. Look here, Slag. You're not wrong. Every time that pops up, I have to explain you're doing the wrong armadas. That's why you're not scoring points. So, yeah. Yeah. Anyway, Saturday, we've got another ticket event. The license, defeating hostiles, bonus points for using battleship, and then a defeat a Romulan one. So that'll have nice synergy with your, you guessed it, faction hunt. And then finally, Sunday, anniversary heist, defeating hostiles. So lots and lots of hostile hunting this week. But I'll be honest, I mean, that's pretty easy stuff. It's nothing crazy. And thankfully, there's not anything really major spin focus. It's just, hey, you want to get tickets to do more grinding? Of course I do. I play Star Trek Fleet Command. I do nothing but give you money and work, because that's a healthy relationship. All right, Crucible War update. This is a big one that I want to talk about. It's really for our G6, G7s out there. Lots of good and above for the Ops 20 and above. But specifically for G6 and G7, this is major feedback I've been pushing. And you can go talk to some of the CMs of how much I've been annoying them about not forgetting about Crucible of War and passing on to live ops these notes. I've heard your cries. They've heard your cries. G6, G7 are finally getting a reason to continue participating in CAL besides just helping out your alliance. Let's talk about it. So Crucible of War ALB event is what it is. It's focused on hitting hostiles. Y'all know what that is. But here's the updated rewards. Sigma Tritanium resources for all G6 and above players, as long as mats, or as well as mats to coincide. Now, if you're a G7 player who's watching this right now, I'm gonna go ahead and give you a little bit of a heads up. You're not gonna do Cal and suddenly be level 80. So if you're like, oh, Rev, everything's so expensive, it still is. But you're getting a little bit of a drop in your bucket with these updates, and you're gonna notice every Cal event and every Cal turn-in is now gonna have some updated rewards that make or incentivize the G6 and G7 players to participate, and I think that's fantastic. All right, so here's your Crucible War G7 updates for the SMS. There'll be a Crucible War specific event for you G7 players up there, so Ops 71 and above, specifically for fighting the level 71 and above hostiles out in the Veil. So players will earn bonus points using the Vengeance or your G7 FKR combat ships. Raise your hand if you're in G7 if you've picked up a level 73 uncommon. Yep, that's not happening. Ship tier ups will not count. That's a big one. Tiering up your ship will not count. This is literally a make those G7 players go out there and do work. Get to grinding. Stop being lazy. Don't use your bots. Do it naturally. All right. G7 players will continue to earn gold alliance trophies at the same rates as previous iterations. And that's fine, honestly, because what are you using with those trophies? Same thing that you're using before. So that's fine. The big one is that y'all are going to get Sigma Par Steel, Sigma Tritanium, etc. as we read through these updates. So AMS, there's an alliance milestone, same thing as the SMS, just for everybody. Crucible War Event Store, G7, G6 update, focus. So ship reward pack, G6 players will now receive G6 materials and Sigma. G7 will get the same thing, but for G7. Then you have a research reward pack. Same thing, station and speed up. Everything getting updated to have Sigma in it. So overall good. Now, do I have the amounts? No. And I'm not telling you to get super excited. I'm just telling you this is good no matter what, because previously your G6, G7, you got nothing. So at least you're being incentivized to help out the rest of your lower level players in your alliance. But I'm not going to lie to y'all. I'm not telling you that if you go and do Cal, you're gonna be able to afford an upgrade of a tier on your 73 uncommon. That is not what I'm telling you, but you will get more Sigma speed ups. You will get more Sigma Trit, Sigma Par Steel, and Sigma materials, or G6, G7 materials. And that is awesome that they responded to feedback. I was being honest with y'all. Don't go into this. Don't say, oh, Rev said that I'm gonna be able to upgrade. No, I did not say that. But I did say that you're getting better rewards than you were getting before, which were for the most part useless for you in G6 and G7. All right, Faction Hunt is also getting an update. We're removing ship tier up metrics. I don't know if this is a good thing. I don't. Previously, you could just upgrade a D4 or upgrade your pylon. Not now. I don't think this is a good thing. It might be why I got buried towards the bottom of this post. But I could be wrong. Maybe it's fine. So the focus is on defeating hostiles. You know, that like log into the game and actually do something. Go spend 4 hours doing grinding for Faction Hunt LBs. That's yeah. But anyway, it also is getting a reward update. I just don't think I'm really happy about the, I guess you could call it like a cheater system where like you can just do it real quick. Cheater, wrong. Cheesy, yes, the cheese system. Just quick upgrade something to finish it. So removing ship tier requirements. Point scaling for hostile kills is being adjusted to include G7 hostile. So again, shout out to you 2,000 G7 players out there. You're getting, better scoring options. Milestone requirements are being rebalanced. This is the part that really worries me. So again, I'm not trying to come at this like super honky-dory, everything's perfect. We'll be ready with the keyboards is what I'm saying to provide feedback, because I've got my clicky clack ready. If those metrics are ridiculous, which raise your hand in the chat. I don't know, type something, put an emoji. If you've ever experienced your milestones be putting on a ridiculous level that Scopely for some reason thought you were going to spend 4 hours that day doing one SMS. If you ever had to do 4 hours for one SMS or been expected of, yeah, you probably have. That's why that part concerns me. So don't worry. Contact your favorite content creator, official moderator, community manager, whoever. Be on the lookout. Don't just roll over and accept it. We've definitely shown that if you set the right fires, you get the right flavor of pitchfork, you can get things changed. So be looking on the milestones. Let me know. Let others know. I mean, let James Bond and let Tiberius and Major Sammo and all the content creators, etc. know if you find something that's like, this milestone's terrible, we can hit it as a unified front. Just let me know. Because I do not have an account at every ops level. Just FYI, if you did not know. I do have accounts that I log into that are G3, G4, G6, G7, etc. But I don't have every level. So anyway, Ops 70 and below players will now receive more materials and faction credits. This sounds great unless the milestones are literally like kill 300 hostiles. And then Ops 61 through 70 players will also increase in faction reputation payouts, which does sound fantastic. And for last but not least, the ALB is getting updated with, again, removing the tier ups. And then payouts for alliance credits staying the same, which again is fine. I mean, you're mostly just using that for shields. And then materials and ultra recruit tokens will be pumped up. So there is your full slate of updates for week 1. Remember, this is only week 1. We got a 2-week break here. So number one, I do want to give Scopely a hand clap. It's close to a golf clap, so don't get too excited, but I still want to give you credit. This is good communication. Since the last time that we really just like tore into y'all for being buttholes and not talking, you've been talking very well. Congratulations, keep it up. And I'm not even going to say anything negative after that. I'm just going to say keep it up. Keep it up. So good comms here, lots of good information, and very positive feeling stuff. You know, updates to things that we need updates for. And let's be honest, if you're out there, you've experienced your high-level players saying Cal is stupid or Cal's not what we're doing anymore because it didn't affect them. Well, now it affects them again. And I think that's good because Cal has been important for the lower levels of the game. And it's easy to forget that because many people, even who come to my live streams, have been playing this game a very long time. Most people who attend my live streams are generally G5 and above. So it makes complete sense for them to be like, yeah, Cal's dead. But then you got to remember that over half of the game is still either in G3 or G4, right? Even in terms of like active populations, there's more people in G4, right, than there is G6. So it's good that this is getting updated because it's going to help out everybody, which is nice. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing what those numbers are. Of course, we will be ready and waiting with pitchforks in hand if needed, but hopefully they won't be needed and we can just sit there and enjoy good, wholesome American rewards and our good, wholesome American holiday, because nobody else celebrates Thanksgiving like we do in America, because freedom, turkey, fat. I'm going to be gaining weight this week. Just letting you know. If you're like, Rav, you look like your face is a little bit thicker, keep your comments to yourself. I already know I'm going to gain 5 to 10 pounds this week. My wife makes an amazing baked mac and cheese. My wife makes an amazing sweet potato casserole, etc. Don't say it. Keep it to yourself, especially you Europeans. I know what y'all like to do. Y'all like to make your little comments and put like winky faces. Oh, you had a good week eating there, didn't you? Shut up. Shut up. Thank you. Thank you. That PSA aside, how does chat feel about the updates as I begin working on doing my dailies? How does chat feel about the updates? Good, indifferent, etc.? Thank you, Brett. I appreciate that. GT Good to See says, I feel like once members of the Alliance hit G6, they often don't participate in as much events like Cal. I agree it's good to get them back into it. Yeah, I mean, that's exactly how I feel. Exactly how I feel. Your wife is European? I mean, can't say anything negative about that. It's awesome. It's awesome. Thick faces, save bases. I don't even know what that means, but thank you for participating in my chat. Let me go ahead and warp myself all the way out here. And, oh, no. I actually need to mine. Yep, I got to go mining with the Voyager. This is the low-level account. Everybody's like, Rev, are you mining as a Sigma player? No. This is our baby account. And get some mining in. When it comes to Thanksgiving, my favorite boat is the gravy boat. Heard. Cal is G4 rewards, enough said. Yo, and look. This is why I've been fighting for Cal to get updated. Now again, Pog, I will say this. Y'all have heard me on this stream. I've argued that Cal was still valuable because number one, you were helping out your lower levels and they really needed the shields, those Alliance credits. But more than that, love seeing these rewards updated. I do really feel like that's a fantastic move by the Overlords, and I'm very glad they're finally doing that. It also reminds me I need to come in here and start working on these. Thank you, Robert. I appreciate you. You missed catching these lives? Well, welcome back, Bilius, and I hope you're having a fantastic week. Our G6 Alliance mates are huge on teaching and participating with us mid and lowers, and I love to hear that, John. I really do. And I honestly credit to your Alliance. The truth is that, and I get it, because at the end of the day, most of us have lives, you know, we have children, families, jobs, etc. So it's completely okay if you're one of those people who's like, hey, I wasn't doing count anymore. I get it. Things take time. But it is nice that, hey, Zero. Oh, I'm getting some drainage. That's not good. I hope I'm not getting sick. But it is good that we're seeing these updates to these events because, like you said, it benefits lower level players. How can a level 63 help a level 38 do Cal and score really well in the Alliance leaderboard? It'll help out a lot. So the GT Carrot says, I admit I do skip ahead in the faction event by tearing up. I've been holding on to some G5 ships as a G6 player. Yeah, so again, that's kind of part of my point earlier. Like, I do feel it's a little bit of a negative that they're taking that out. Like, if I look at all the things that were posted, I do have to say that one is one that makes me go, oh man, I don't think that's a good thing. At the same time, is it the worst thing in the world? Probably not. Yeah, I'm gonna collect these missions real quick. You see, I've already got the, I got to complete comeuppance, but I squirrel really bad on this channel. Many of you are familiar with how Rev squirrels, but squirrel is real for Rev. There's so many things I need to do. Can I have warp range for that yet? I do not. Well, my Reliant might. Anyway, we've actually taken on players from any alliances when we offer tips on why they got popped. Turns out their uppers never communicate with their lowers. That does happen a lot. I mean, and again, like, I'm not coming at any player out there who maybe isn't really big on helping. You know, you gotta enjoy that. Not everybody enjoys helping players. Like, I really enjoy it. It's kind of my shtick, right? Obviously, I have a YouTube channel and a Twitch channel devoted to teaching you Star Trek Fleet Command, but not everybody's going to enjoy that. So finding that group can be really not only important, but obviously super beneficial for, you know, the players who are just regular players who aren't logging on every day, all day, who are just logging on just enough to play the game and build community. So it's great that you have that. I think that's awesome, John. Hopefully your Dauntless will make the difference. See, the trouble with my Dauntless GT is I actually use my currency, whether it's going out into the mirror space or something or aggregation. I don't have a lot of currency saved up in my Dauntless to do all the grinds. I will have to do some of the grinds manually. But you are right. That is a great call out that having the Dauntless will help. Any tips on defeating the Margin Part 5 hostiles? Need 10 to start Op 71, struggling to kill any. I'll say this, Elvin. If you're struggling to kill any, you're probably not ready to go into G7 yet, but I don't know what you're using. I'm saying, if you're struggling, you're probably not ready to level up. But what are you using is a big question. He upped an alliance mate, and now he's wrecking 8 ops above him in PvP. Sugar Fat Man, those are my favorite stories to read. And Elvin, if you want one-on-one, like if you need some specific help, you're more than welcome to message me. Enterprise E tier 8, yeah, see, I would say you're not ready to go, but that should be enough, honestly. Enterprise E tier 8, hell, James Bond did it. He wasn't rocking a tier 8. I'm pretty sure he didn't have a tier 8 Crenshaw when he went. Yeah, he did have a tier 8 Crenshaw, so should be doable. But I would say tier 8's a little low, especially if you're thinking of going into G7. Now, if you are a G7 player here and you also would like to chime in for advice, don't feel like just because I'm the one on the screen with this beautiful ginger beard that only my opinion matters. Everybody here is welcome to contribute. So if you're like, hey, I'm level 73 and here's what I would recommend, feel free to chime in as well. Can Scopely add G5 scrapping? You don't want G5 scrapping. What I mean by that is you don't want G5 scrapping as it was designed, which is why it's been postponed. So my hope is that they change and they do something better than what they were planning. And I'm telling you, man, the Pitchforks and Firestorm, if y'all would have gotten the original G5 scrapping plan, yeah. Right now, G5 scrapping is not happening, as in it has no timetable of when it's going to get launched, and that's why. And many of you might go, Rev, that sounds terrible, but I think it's good. I think it's better for them to not release something that's going to purposely make players mad. And I still feel for the players who are out there who are in G6. I'm sure GT Carrot may be one of those where you're just sitting there going, hey, Rev, I can't do anything because I've got, 40 G5 ships I built for leaderboards I need to scrap. And you feel like you're running out of hangar spots. 100% agree with that. Definitely not trying to say that's not a real problem. I'm just saying there are other things going on. So, afternoon, BN, welcome in. So, Ben Camby at 42, should I jump to 45 or 46? I would pick 46, Bilius. A big reason being at 46, you're going to get your new faction ship. At 45, you open up a lot of new research and such. I would say 46, and for me, that's kind of been that for a while, is that next, quote unquote, camp spot. 46 is the next, common one. And honestly, at this point in the game, basically every place that is a natural or is an actual faction spot becomes a natural spot for, ooh, I can actually do this pull. Gosh, I'm getting so squirrely today. I apologize, chat, but man, doing this pull in the 30s is fantastic. Look at that. Maybe I'll get lucky. Get a Chaos Tech full pull. Nope, I got one Thought Maker shard. That mass out. Maybe I'll contact that guy about how he did it. Elvin, I said you can message me. I'm more than happy to help you out. I don't know what cruise you're using. I'm just saying, you can do it, but I wouldn't recommend it. I would definitely get stronger before I try to take on G7. I mean, you don't even have your Borg Cube updated, right? Now, I'm assuming you don't have a Vengeance. So if you're trying to take on G7 in a way that is less painful, I mean, those would be two things I would definitely recommend before you even worry about getting up to G7. So, hit 68. I'm waiting for G5 scrapping to come out when I get to G7. Oof. Well, we'll see. I mean, I'm hopeful that they'll listen to player feedback and make the changes that are needed. I don't even want to say requested. I mean, they're needed changes. Yeah, I need to be pulling that. I don't know how many of those I'm actually going to run, but just in case. And then get these platinums. say, you want to let me do my polls? Dang it. Nothing. Oh, Voyager. See, we got to do mining. Use Leslie and Buff and do the Faction 71s. That's definitely a crew you can do. So you can definitely do the Leslie cheese run for the punch up on the 71. The tier 8 also needs to really focus on what you're putting in below decks as well. I'm not sure what you're putting in below decks there. But again, share your crew. I mean, like a common 71 plus crew is going to be Janeway, Seska, Suitor. But below decks, you still want to have, you know, Picard Hugh, still want to have Wrath of Khan Joaquin, you know, still want to have Nurse Chapel, Borg Q for regular hostiles, you know, etc. Now, Slag says, there's no way to do it cheap or with weaker ships, so I can catch up like a lot of people did in G6. You can go to G7 unprepared, you'll absolutely have a miserable time. Slag is a higher Slag, you're what, 72 now? 73? Elvidon says, I have several G7 players in my alliance who tell me to get to G7 quick, even if I can't do the dailies, as the rewards are worth it. That is, in my opinion, terrible advice. That's the same advice every spender always gives their people. You should ops up because rewards are better. Here's the stick, Elvidon. You can tell them the same thing. Why are you not level 80? The rewards are better. I'm not calling them bad people, but you should ignore those people. Anybody that tells you that, that's what Scopely says to do. By that same logic, why are they not spending $30,000 a month and getting to level 80? Duh. The higher level you go, the better the rewards are. I'm telling you, though, you're going to hate G7 if you go up there with the Tier 8 Enterprise E. I can get you there. You are going to hate it. Yes, is there a rewards bump? Absolutely. Is there a pain increase? Absolutely. Ignore FOMO. Have fun. There's always a reason to level up. Go to level 80. Why aren't you going to level 80? You know how much more you'll get at level 80? So, anyway, you can play how you want to play, but I'm telling you, my recommendation is to ignore that. Sit your butt there, get your vengeance, especially if you can get it free to play, which I know is a little bit of a pain point right now. Get your Borg Cube upgraded. I mean, hell, we've got one G7 already contradicting. Let more G7 speak up. So, that's just my opinion, right? You can definitely get to 71, and I'll say this, at 71, rewards are better, right? And the logic is going to be, well, now you can backtrack faster. But again, my main point remains, that's never not been true. I mean, you know what I could do for my level 38 account? I could take it to 40 right now. I could take it to 50. That's always going to be true. So, that's always going to be true. If you go into G7 really fast, remember G7 right now, and this isn't me being anti-Scopely, this is just how they run their program. G7 is meant to be a pay-only area right now. Can you play it free to play? Yes. Shout out to my friend James Bond. But is it meant to be done that way? No. Is it easy to do that? Absolutely not. Go when you're ready to go. Now, if you say, hey, Rev, I'm ready to go, we'll get you crewed up. We can make it happen. The Raven says, as a G7, stay in G6 and enjoy the game. G7 is hell. Crank says, I'm sitting on 71 for another month or so, but I have you have higher level ships than the Tier 8 Enterprise E. Heard. Is 59 a good level to camp? No. If you're at 59, take your butt to 60 and get the epics. Take your butt to 60. But Elvin, in terms of crewing, I gave out a crew and the Leslie crew's an option, but if you need more crewing, we'll help you do your task. I just want to make sure that you are making an informed decision, not making a FOMO decision. Not doing it because your alliance mates say you really need to get here. And to me, that's a bad reason to upgrade. So, now Brandon says they're doing fine at G7. No Vengeance, no Max Crenshaw, no Max Q. Fine. You've tried all crews? All crews? Well, feel free to shoot me a message of what you're running. And we'll work with that. So shoot me your above decks, your below decks, shoot me your ship, and we'll see what we can do for you. I'm more than happy to help you out. Yeah, Discord. Discord, Facebook, X, wherever you want to message me. I try to be available to all people. You've been sitting at 59 waiting for a worthwhile spin of it. It hasn't come. There's no such thing. Get to 60. Build your epic. Link, please, to my Discord? Elvin, I thought you were in my Discord. What do you mean? You're not a new player. I've seen you a million times. Here you go. What's the website to see your power against other players? That'd be stfc.pro. stfc.pro. Past tense. Wow. Elvedin says he doesn't love me anymore. Y'all heard it, chat. On a Sunday, the Lord's Day, Elvedin came in and says, I don't like Rev, but I needed help, so I went there. So, yeah. Wow. I know Nemesis. The betrayal. Speaking of Nemesis, another G7 player. Nemesis, what is your recommendation to Elvedin, who's a level 70 with a tier 8 enterprise, talking about wanting to go into G7? What do you think? And I'm not asking that as like a loaded question, because Braindig is G7 and says it's fine, right? What do you think? So, Braindig says they're doing Veil 71s for the kill 50 dailies right now, but it took about a month before you could do those reliably. Braindig, as a G7 player who isn't using the bigger stuff, the Vengeance, the Max Cube, etc., do you want to send me a couple of screenshots and I can share them with Elvedin just to give him an immediate one-on-one or one-to-one comparison? Left all Discords? Well, hey, Elvedin, I get that. And if you ever need to just chit-chat, we do have a mental health area, but if you just need to get away, I get that too. It's good to see you, by the way. It's good to see you. Slag addressing Brandon says that's the pivot point. You want to have a month of garbage or go in strong? And that's the discussion you have to make. And like, I love shouting out JB because JB is that guy who is going to focus on, opsing up. And that means he's going to be willing to go through not only one, but basically continual painful months. But that's because he wants to do something that nobody else is doing. And I fully support him on that. So any word on Incursions returning? Incursions is returning next week. Not this week, the week after. Unless things change, Incursions looking for it to be not this upcoming weekend, not this weekend, but in December, the first weekend in December. So just hit Ops 20 today. What should I be focusing on the most? Congratulations, Chris. The number one focus I would say once you get into Ops 20 plus is number one, doing the events to accrue G3 materials, but focusing on specialty ships. The first one being the USS Discovery that you can start doing at level 20. Big event every Saturday called Cosmic Cleanup. Make sure you're doing it. That is going to help you with the sourcing of what you need to make that happen. Ron says I'm op 72, and they personally tell people to get a tier 13 G6 Epic before going 71 plus. People are doing it with tier 11s. Oh, look, Ron, I've helped people do it with tier, 9 just to use what they're using. Certainly not unheard of, but it does make it harder. And I've never bought into the argument that a lot of people will make, oh, well, the rewards are better, so just rush up there. To me, Star Trek Fleet Command is a marathon game, not a sprint game. And while it is a very true statement that, you shouldn't camp, let me use another example. Let me use a more free-to-play example. There's an argument to be made. You should not camp at 60. You should camp at 61. Why? Because at 61, you'll get more 5-star stuff to more quickly max out all your G5 stuff. Legitimate argument to be made. I think the best way, and this is my opinion, this is very much an opinion, it's not a fact. The best way to play Star Trek Fleet Command is just a smidge slower. I'm not saying play so slow you're bored, but just a smidge slower to avoid the FOMO and make sure that you don't struggle with everything that Scopely is going to throw at you. You do just enough to be strong for your level, but move fast enough to where you're not falling behind, as it were. My favorite thing to say this year has been the secret to STFC is that you can never fall behind because you can never catch up. And that's the point I was trying to make earlier. Like, all your G7s in your alliance who might say, hey, get to G7 now, why are they not level 80? Because the statement is still true for them, right? Like, their rewards at 73 are not near as good as the rewards that are up at 78. But why is nobody up there? Because it's pain, right? And G7 is expected to get that pain in by making you spin. So again, as long as you're making an informed choice, we'll help you get there. Steve says, I don't want to bother you while you're having a great stream, but I want to say hi. 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 Hopefully it's you. Well, I am me. So yeah, I think that, I see you. Is this the Rev? Yes. There we go. All right, cool. Man, that Sentry looks beefy, doesn't it? Here, let's get Brain Dig out. Oh, look, Brain Dig got, you got a tier 14 crunch out. You wouldn't, Brain Dig, just by chance. Brain Dig, just by chance, do you happen to have any old screenshots of when you first got into G7 to show you beating like some of these hostiles we're talking about? The real big beefy boys. Just in case. If you don't, no big deal. What I see is a tier 13 G6 with Cerritos boost on 50 Veil kills and 3 or 4 runs. The daily grind's not bad. And see, Ron, that is just, for me, it's such a different paradigm because the fact that you said 3 to 4 runs to get your dailies done, that sounds horrible to me. I want to get my dailies done 1 life, 1 run, not 4. But that comes back into finding the play style that works for you, though. Like, because I've said it before, like, there's nothing wrong with JB's play style. Shout out to James Bond. He just plays it in a way that I think is painful for a lot of people. There's a reason most players don't play like him. But at the same time, he should be lauded. He should be shouted out for what he's accomplished. You know, he absolutely should be shouted out for what he's able to do. You know, the fact that he's free to playing through G7 is so cool. And he should be hitting another, I think he's making it to Op 72. Op 72 before December. Free to play. That's fantastic. But it's rough. Is the Alliance store the only place to get rare Armada tactical cores? No, Oscar. No, it's not. Actually, let me go ahead and quick reminder, everybody. If you go to your away teams tab, this box right here. Now you might go, Rev, well, that cost currency. Yes, but wrong way. Yes. But if you've been doing your away teams and you've been following my teachings, you've got currency every now and then if you want to spend. This gives you guaranteed cores. I also want to point out that you're looking at a level 38 account. The amount of cores you get varies greatly by ops level. My level 63 account gets well over 2,000 cores per pull. So it depends on what level you're at. But this place, if you want to get more rare cores, beyond just the Alliance Armada chest. Let's see, somebody else. Sam, let's see what you got. See, that's a big cube, boy. See, that's exactly what I would recommend, but that's a big old cube. Taking on that Sentinel. So, but I mean, heck, congrats to doing it. That's exactly the type of crew. Here, I'll put it on the screen. This is the type of crew and stuff I recommend, but I mean, this is also why I'm saying, you know, have a strong ship because, boom, easily. I mean, look at the minuscule amounts of hull health lost here. And see, just getting, just speaking to Elvin now, just getting your G6 Epic to tier 9 alone, which gives you this, well, technically doesn't give you this, but it will further along. But getting your G6 even max, so you can get this done. This is your 71 hostiles. So, you know, time. How much do you want to spend on it? So, which is why Ron is saying, you know, get stronger first. That way you can pull off some crazy ones. Let's see. So here's an older picture of Brain Dig from way back in the day. Now, the reason we're going to share this is because this is a lower tier. Now, it's not as low as you, Elvin, but it is a lower tier. And we're just trying to help you out, bud. This is from Brain Dig when he was at level 70 doing those type of punch-ups, and he was using the Strange New World run. I'm not the biggest fan of Kirk right there, but I get it. You're limited in your below deck spots with the Crenshaw. Thomas, good to see you. Thank you for supporting my family. Good afternoon to you as well. Thank you for the kindness. The $5 will go to help pay off the medical bills. Thank you very, very much. Thank you. Hello, Ball Trek. Welcome in. Thank you, Brain Dig, for helping with the run. Gary says the cow and faction hunts have been rebalanced. We saw how that worked a couple days ago. We'll see, though. I mean, my argument early, Gary, was the bye weeks, the weeks in between arcs, have been the best part of the months for several months now. So remember, that's different people who are working on the between the months versus the people who are controlling the month. So I'm hopeful, but I've always been very optimistic about STFC to an annoying degree. So take it with a grain of salt. Again, thank you, Thomas, for supporting my family, donating. That is very kind of you. It's never required. It is very much appreciated so that I can continue to feed my kids, which sadly is important. I mean, they get on to you. I've actually heard they'll take your kids away if you stop feeding them, which I think is stupid. They're my kids. I made them. Why are you taking them from me? But thanks to you, I can help feed them. And if anybody else wants to contribute, you can. Never required, but always appreciated. Always appreciated. Ron adds, one thing that also helps is the Insta Warp on my Crenshaw. If you're going to do the multiple runs to get your dailies done, it really helps to have Insta Warp on your G6. Epic. Absolutely agree with that. And that's going to be another kind of like sticking point because a lot of people still don't have enough of that currency earned because they don't have the Serene Squall. But if you have the Serene Squall, you're earning that. That Insta Jump is super nice. So, and the Enterprise need to be maxed for the cube. To max out the cube, yes. So you have 2 cube upgrades. But yeah, you need to max it out to take it all the way. I have that. Where's that graphic? I can put on the screen just to remind everybody of the runs. But since you said, hey, you know, the Vengeance is not an option for me, the cube still absolutely is. And the cube is just ridiculous. So you have a couple of upgrade marks for the cube that are reliant on your G6 Epic. Right here, bam. So you see when you max it out, you get 2 tiers. That's a big one. You've already hit the G6 Epics give you 3 tiers of cube. You've already hit tier 1, and then the other 2 just kind of hit at the same time. So if anybody needs this is in my Discord, but if you need it, we can give it to you. Happy to share the graphics. But for those that don't remember, this is the upgrade component restriction for the Borg cube. You just started the game. Don't know why I was put into a 3-year-old server. Really, you were, Chris? That actually is very uncommon. Most players get put on a new server. But I would argue, I mean, there's definitely huge benefits to getting put on an old server as well. Do you know what server you're on, Chris? And do you have a good alliance? Because I can probably find a real good one if you need help. Well, their server, they're already level 20, Jack, so they can't change servers anymore. You can't change servers past level 12. But at the same time, if they're on a 3-year-old server, we can definitely help them out. So, with all due respect, my opinion is don't follow any CC's way of playing. Just learn from them to improve your gameplay the way you enjoy playing and at your own pace. Yeah. I'm not offended by that at all. I mean, because I've said it. I actually tell people don't play like I play unless you are like me. And an example of that is I built all 3 G5 epics and I maxed all 3 of them before going into G6 on one of my accounts. Do you need to do that? No. And any content creator that says you do is lying to you. You do not need to do that. Why did I do it? Number 1, I'm a Star Trek fan, so I love having all the things. Number 2, I'm a PvP player, so I wanted to have a lot of PvP options, and I do. I do really well in PvP, and everybody who's watched my content knows that. I punch well above my weight. It depends on the style that you are, and what do you want to accomplish. So, I absolutely agree with that. You know, like if you go and check out James Bond's material, don't do exactly what JB's doing. Don't do exactly what Rev is doing. Don't do exactly what Samo's doing. Don't do exactly what Lost In is doing. DW Viper, Ice Wolf, all the content creators. Find what works for you. And that should be a content creator's goal, is to help you find the most fun in the game possible. And that probably is not going to 100% align with what we're doing. That's okay. That's absolutely okay. So, you plan to do the same thing. Why? Because I want to, and I worship Rev Deuce. Well, thank you, SS Kula, especially for that last part where you say you worship me. It's very common. The luck of getting a good Revenant pull for Chaos Tech is awful. Yeah, it's not very good, Eddie, but you know, every now and then you get that one RNG hit, and it's like a little bit of that, you know, that drug in your veins type deal. We're always waiting for the next hit. Good to see you, Time Lord. Welcome in. Off City 1 and playing slow, enjoying the game. Congrats. And I'm glad you're enjoying the game, because as frustrating as this game can be, it's good to be able to still enjoy it, and I'm glad you are. So, you're level 71. I play very similar to Rev. That's why I'm always here. Fun to hang out with Rev. Well, thank you, Ball Trek. I appreciate that. Thank you for being part of my community, and thank you for supporting me and my community. It's very kind of you. It's very kind of you. Yeah. Here's the hoping they put a decent amount of Sigma speed ups into Cal. Only thing slowing me down, getting to 70. I'm hopeful as well. Like, I really am excited. And I know it's dangerous to be excited, especially after November being a rough month for G5, G6, and G7 players. I still argue that G3, G4 players got a really good month. The other people got a bad month. But yeah, I 100% get where you're coming from. Absolutely. You'll be doing all G5 epics with jump drive and field repair. And see, Sugar Fat Man, I'm working on field repair and jump drive for my Rotaran, but I don't think I'll get it on any of the others. But I don't know yet. It really depends on how slow I decide to play. But I say that, you know who also built all 363 uncommons? This guy. You know who would recommend building all 363 uncommons? Kind of this guy, but not really. Like, I would build the 63 uncommons just so that you can get the research done because OCD is annoying. But do you need all 363 uncommons? Absolutely not. And I'm not going to lie to you and tell you that you do. But who has all three of them? This guy. So, yep. You move up to 6-6 and you're one component from tier 9. Oh, dude, Curly Hawk. You're going to get it this week, which means your cube is about to get really stupid annoying. You're about to have like a 25 billion power cube, Curly Hawk. I'm excited for you. Oh, Eddie, I can't pick up that mission, or else I would. Can't pick up that mission, or else I would. But I actually am trying to work on some missions while I'm sitting here. Hey, Peggle, we were actually just talking about you on Twitch the other night. It's good to see you. Welcome in. 702 is the server? Okay. I know some people over on 702. I know several people on 702 as well, actually. Just hit 68. How many ships should I build? Also, are you going to get Cal this month? Yeah, Roger, we're getting Cal starting tomorrow, Tuesday. Yes. We actually spent the whole first of the video on the live stream. If you want to rewind it, you can rewind the live streams. And I go over all of the changes coming to Cal. I'll also put out a video tomorrow morning about it as well. So, his head ops. Oh, already read that. My bad. 15 to 16 build queue for a 66. 25 is a tier 6 epic. I might be misremembering Valhalla, but I feel like I've got friends who've got 20 build plus cubes at level 66. Maybe I am misremembering, but I feel like I've run into people with 20 build cubes in arenas that weren't level 70. But I could be wrong. I've played this game too much, and I've seen too many things. It all starts kind of running together. Been on server 32 since it started. Deleted and came back. Hey, Bilius, I don't know if you remember, I used to play on server 32. I was in FX. I was in several alliances on 32. Shout out to it. Got your Vorcha and Northcut ready to build at 53. Heck yeah. Congratulations, Time Lord. Yeah. You be one of them? You be one of the what, Dexter? And good to see you, by the way. Welcome in. Welcome in. I'm just spamming missions right now as we talk and answer questions about upcoming content. So if you're just coming in, welcome. And number 2, throw your questions in the chat. We'll hit them up. Oh, 20 build cubes. So yeah, you have a 20 build cube, Dexter, at level 66, right? Catching up on stream, I'm a 71, and the 1071's mission is a really true test of if you succeed in G7. If you're struggling, you're not ready. All right, there you go, chat. 68. Yeah, so that means that you relied on a 66 ship to get there. Remember one of my ships made it into your videos on server 32? I'll be honest, Bilius, I don't remember. Only because I make so many videos. Not that you're not memorable. I promise you it's not you, it's me. It's not you, it's me. What do you think will be the new ship? Well, how do I hint that? I know what the next ship is. We're a little early to drop that hint. Come back in a little bit. A little early for me to be dropping hints on the next ship. But I'm going to come up with a good hint, though. That'll be the key. I'm going to come up with a good hint. I'm going to come up with a good one. Tease? Yep. Hey, Bob, you're a member on my website, revdeuce.com. There is some stuff that you can go check out there now if you want to regarding December. Just saying. Just saying. Can you hint the hint? Yeah, there's a vowel in the ship name. There you go. There's a hint to your hint, Eddie. You're so greedy. Love you, buddy. Yeah, shout out. And, we just hit the 1 hour mark. Use this as an opportunity to plug myself because, again, I don't do what I do without y'all support. So big thank you. If you want to support the channel, you can do so at revdeuce.com. You can do a monthly support with our membership. There's really cool perks in the members only area. We got a Q&A, we got a podcast, we got family blog, all kinds of stuff. And hey, maybe you don't want to do that. I will tell you this. Who's got the best Christmas merch of all the content creators? Not even a debate. It's this guy. We got 2 ugly sweaters. We've got Christmas ornaments because what does your wife need? She needs a Christmas ornament with my logo on it. That's of course what she needs. I've got my own wrapping paper and has nothing to do with Christmas. We also have a hockey jersey, as well as one of my favorite things in the world. Well, not whiskey tumblers, but yeah, those technically exist. But for you diehard spinners out there, you know how many G7 players I've talked to just today? A lot. But how many of those G7 players have got the pack shirt, the pack pants, and the pack hat? Not enough. You might, what is that? Squint, squint. Oh, it's the shirt for everything. Because who doesn't need a shirt, pant, and hat set that's nothing but packs from Star Trek Fleet Command? You need it. And it supports your favorite ginger content creator. Check it out on revdeuce.com. There's the plug. We're done for that. Back over. Check it out at revdeuce.com. A Val, so high chance it's not a Klingon ship. Nice. Can you change your like button into a purple hell button? I wish I could. That'd be awesome. But no, I do not have the ability to do that. That would be cool though. It's a good idea. I just don't have that ability. Let me see. We probably have finished this. We're maxed out. Yeah. Go recall. Repair this. I like to think my research is very good, but if there are people with 20 build cubes, I'm quite behind. I mean, it could be something as simple as Valhalla as, again, not knowing exactly where you're at. Maybe you don't have the Emerald Chain maxed out yet, and their alliance does. Emerald Chain is big. I mean, Emerald Chain can definitely by itself be 1 to 2 billion power on a cube. So there's a lot of things that can kind of play into that, which makes it both annoying and good, because it shows you that there's things that you can do, but at the same time, bad because, dang it, more crap for me to do. So, perspectives. Ask Rev how he knows how much Emerald Chain impacts power. Yeah. We are slowly getting it back, though. Slowly. But as someone who had a maxed Emerald Chain and then lost it, yeah, it does a lot. So, missed out on the free cube. I refused to buy one. Really hope they give another free one again. So, Kevin, right now, the only way to get one free to play is via the event stores. And it is in most event stores. But that's the only way. Don't we already know is a station raider going directly after Sigma resources? No, we do not know that at all. The item that I've been hinting at that is going to help you do Sigma first rating is not a ship. The one that I've been hinting at is not a ship. That doesn't mean they couldn't do a ship. Could. But that's not what I've been hinting at. We went on a 74 player today. Haywire went 74 this afternoon, and Beam is nearly there. That reminds me, I need to hit up Beam. I haven't talked to Beam in about a month. So, I've not talked to Beam in about a month. Event and Alliance Tournament Store. Alliance Tournament Store, nay. Alliance Tournament Store is skins for the board cube, not blueprints. So we can go look at that right now. So you can get skins for the cube, which starts with, let's see if we can find the first one. Are they both down here? So you've got, yeah, they're both right here. These are skins, and I would recommend getting both skins. In fact, this account has got the Transwarp Drive refit skin. But both skins are in here, but not blueprints for the cube. But you do have the 2 ship skins for the board cube, which I do recommend getting. So is there an advantage in investing in more than one squall? The advantage would be mining more transigen faster. Now, if you're asking would Rev do that, I would not have 2 squalls. But remember who you're asking. The king of not liking mining. Not the best person to ask, should I get another mining ship? I'm going to say no. I'm going to say go OPC hunt any other transigen you need. But there are definitely people in this chat who would do that. I hope the new ship is a Ferengi ship like the Damsel. I would love them to actually put in the Ferengi Marauder class you see in the next generation. So, will Sigma First be allowed by players below Op 61? No. I mean, they could, but that's definitely been a key point for them to make sure that that was a G6 only mechanic or G6 plus mechanic now that we have G7. Is there a chart with recommended FTs matched with ships or ship types? No, because that doesn't really exist. Like, there are very few FTs and CTs that are ship specific, to the point where they're not ship specific. Like, if I say put on the Quantum Slipstream, it doesn't matter what ship you're putting it on. It's one of the best FTs because of what it does. They don't make FTs and CTs for the most part that are dedicated to a ship. And I'd argue the ones that they do have that are dedicated to like a specific grind are the worst FT CTs anyway. There's not an FT CT that is, oh, you definitely need to run it on this. Both Beam and Haywire are Commodores in your alliance? See, I don't think I've talked to Haywire a couple of times, Valhalla. Beam I've talked to a lot. And you'll also know Monkey or Usain. I talked to him a lot. Talked to him yesterday. But Haywire, I don't have a lot of communication history with, just some. Beam I've talked to quite a bit. Is he going by Bolt now? Yeah. Well, he's a Monkey in my alliance. He's got his own t-shirt in my merch store, so. If you've ever wondered where that came from, Valhalla, if you've ever gone on my merch store and been like, what the heck is this t-shirt? It's probably his. Just like the Sith Alliance from your server has got a mug on my website. All right. The new ship is a Teresian starship from Voyager Season 3, Favorite Son. That is very specific, Dark. That is very specific. So. Sorry, background music. Let's see, 1 second. Checking our playlist here. We gotta get our playlist reset so that we don't have copyright music playing. Give me just a second. There we go. Gathering. I have never played Magic the Gathering, but I do know there's a Star Trek set coming out next year, and we'll be saving money for that. I've got to pay off my bills and stuff first, medical bills and stuff. That's what the big blue bar is up there. Now, obviously, we have Christmas and taxes, but after all that's done, hopefully, Magic the Gathering. Are you thinking about going to 66 soon? Not really, honestly, just because I don't feel the need, but like I could get to level 70 in a couple weeks, probably. Not 2 weeks, but I could get there very quickly. I've only been at 63 for a little bit, so I'm just taking my time. You like a Cardassian ship for once? Yeah, there's not any of those. The only Cardassian ship you have is you have a skin for a ship that gives you the Galore. So the Galore class has a skin for the level 42 uncommon ships. And they've never made a full Cardassian set. There's definitely fans out there. From a poll that we actually just ran in my Discord this past week, Romulan seems to be the second most popular after Federation, then it's Klingon, and then it would probably be Cardassian for the most popular factions. But yeah, Federation, I don't know why people are so obsessed with the Federation, but they are. They are. All right. They're pulling the Klingon-like Kazon in. Yeah, that's... Don't get me started on Voyager and its bad writing. Leave Voyager out of this. This is a day without Voyager complaints. Okay? It's a day without Voyager complaints. All communist? Yes, exactly, Stingray. All the Romulans are communist. Agreed. Agreed. But yeah, Zax, I did see that and I'm excited. I've never done Magic the Gathering. I'm sure many people in this chat have. There are probably some very well-seasoned nerds in this chat. Shocker, I know. But I have personally never played Magic the Gathering. You want refits that are just the G3 epics for all the other ships? Really? You want an Augur refit for your Dare decks? I mean, I'm not going to hate on you for wanting something, but really? How's one get a second Borg ship? Buying it. Money. Money, money, money. Scopely's favorite thing. Quake, welcome in. Good to see you. Yeah. Scopely's favorite thing. Money, 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 money. That's how you get a second if you really want one. Not telling you to buy it, by the way. Just answering the question. Money, money, money. Federation is boring. Everything is a saucer section. They definitely have a pretty consistent design strategy. That is true. It is consistent. Do you like the G3 Epics? Hence the 2.5 years at 39. I mean, they're great. I would argue they're not necessarily great to look at. Like the D4, in my opinion, is one of the ugliest ships in the game. And I say that as a Klingon guy. Like I know I'm rocking a Federation emblem, but everybody who's seen my background for Twitch knows it's very Klingon. But hey, you're allowed to like what you like, you know? You want a Rialta skin for the Vengeance. All right, I see what you want. Eddie wants to troll people. So ignore Eddie. Eddie just wants to troll people. Eddie's just a troll. So y'all ignore Eddie and don't let Scopely hear, because if they start doing that, they'd probably sell it. You want a Borg sphere? I would love to see more Borg ships in the game. Now, the problem with adding a Borg sphere is, Kevin, is they added in a Borg sphere right now, they'd have to make it stronger than the cube. And that wouldn't make any sense, now would it? They'd have to find a way to convince us that it's okay that the cube that we're getting is better or weaker than the Borg sphere. And that'd be tough. That'd be real tough to do, in my opinion. Definitely more Borg ships that need to extend the cube. The problem with extending the cube is, how does that make them money? I know we don't want to hear that question, but remember, it's a question that has to be asked, right? To get Scopely to do anything in Star Trek Fleet Command, you generally have to have a convincing argument to how does it benefit. It has to be mutually beneficial. It's easy for us to go, hey, I want this. And I'm not even saying that we shouldn't do that. We absolutely should tell them what we want. But to make sure we get what we want, we have to make sure they say or see how it's going to benefit them. And that's the tough part, you know? Add a Borg station overlay, just like a DS9 one. Now, that's something that y'all have heard me argue for quite some time. And I've been begging them for a DS9 skin, even if it was a pay-only skin to start with. I think that would be an instant moneymaker and just a fantastic addition to the game. So, you know, for them to make new refits or skins for enhancing existing ships, I agree. I agree. Could be the Borg sphere be a support ship. It wouldn't have to be stronger then. So you say that, and I'm not saying you're wrong in your logic, but I will say this. Do you forget that everybody complains when special ships are one-trick ponies, right? Do people not complain about all the one-trick pony special ships? So it's tough to advocate for doing that because you know that's going to get backlash. Even if somebody like you would enjoy it, we know that that's going to get backlash. And that makes, you know, the overlords hesitant to do something. So it's like I was telling, I don't know if Dinwit's still here, you know, the way that they view us is very much, now I'm not saying everybody at Star Trek Fleet Command, but a lot of people at Star Trek Fleet Command view the players as no matter what we do, they're never satisfied, they're very greedy, and all they want is free crap. There are a lot of people who that's how they view the general player base. Just no matter what we do, they're going to be mad. No matter what we do, they're not going to like what we do. Now, I think that we as players have a legitimate argument that a lot of what they do is bad. But there's definitely good or bad in terms of like why they have that paradigm. That paradigm exists. Like I was telling Dinwit, we have to operate around that paradigm because unless we can, you know, convince them beyond the we want it, they kind of, you know, they tone you out. It has to be a better reasoning than I want it. So we do complain about one-trick ponies, but that doesn't seem to stop them from doing it. We say that GS31 is not a one-trick pony. Dauntless is not a one-trick pony, right? I mean, you could argue the Serene Squall is a one-trick pony, I guess, but it's a mining ship. Relativity's not a one-trick pony. Revenant's not a one-trick pony. They've actually not done one-trick ponies this year. Are your speakers dying? What? Is it crackling, or are you just hearing the background music? Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, that's my board. That's my soundboard. Gosh, why is it always something? Ugh, why is it always something? All right, I'm gonna turn the music off. Just hopefully that makes it happen less. Because I don't want to reboot my soundboard in the middle of stream. I wonder if there is like a driver update I need or something. Anyway, I'll just keep the music off and we'll try to make it through these last 10 minutes and I'll give it a reboot. Sorry about that. Thank y'all for bringing it to my attention. I didn't have my headphones on, so I couldn't hear it, but now I can. So I apologize. Ran a microwave too close to a wireless headset. Shouldn't be anything like that in this case, but yeah. Change the batteries. There's no batteries involved. Although I just got this soundboard a few months ago, so if it's already having problems, that's not good. That's annoying because the soundboard's not cheap. All right. Hope you don't have any further issues. Me as well, Pog, but I'm just going to go ahead and say it with a smile on my face. That's been my year, man. I had to have emergency surgery. I got really sick, was in the hospital. You know, my computer has overheating issues, so I have to get a new computer. It's just been how 2025 has been. So sometimes that's just how life goes. Take the punches on the chin and keep moving. One good life lesson, hopefully everybody's experienced, or maybe not experienced. I don't care what your opinion is, it's mine. Everybody. You go. Rebooting. We good? All right, all right. Now we're good. We rebooted the soundboard, so hopefully it'll stop doing all the stuff. The headset might cause any conflict? No, this isn't connected to anything. Not connected to anything. All right, so y'all should hear everything now. We should be good. Apologies. Hopefully the reboot fixes it. But yeah, that's just been my month. And what I was saying is, I'm a firm believer that at some point in your life, everybody needs to get punched in the mouth. Why do I believe that? Because you learn you're not going to die. It's going to hurt a little bit, but you're going to be okay. And you move about with your life. That's how I've been taking on all the problems that have been hitting me in 2025, right? Whether it's Star Trek Fleet Command deciding it wants to, self-implode, whether it's, the surgery I had to have all that. Look, you get punched in the mouth. It sucks. I'm not saying it's good, but what you learn from that is tomorrow happens, right? No big deal. Just get through it, move on to the next day. Anyway, it's such a bummer that Rev told us what the new ship is while the mic was glitching out. Yes. Yep. Should have been there. You should speak Cylon if you want to know what the new ship is. I tried to tell you. You should be speaking Cylon. All right. Y'all let me know if that pops up again, but hopefully it won't before the stream ends. Speaking of board, Rev soundboard has been assimilated. Sonic resistance is futile. Here we go. We need valleys to appreciate the mountaintops. Yeah, that's much less violent than my theory that everybody needs to get punched in the mouth. So, climb a mountain, go down to a valley. There you go. Thanks again for all the great help for beginners like me. Absolutely, Chris. Whether you're levels 20 or level 70, I'm here for you. I want to help you have a fun time. It is a game at the end of the day. And while this game is definitely propped up by having, in my opinion, the best gaming community I've ever experienced, there's definitely, there's good here to be had. There's fun to be had in this game. Shocking, but yes, there is. You've been punched in the gut. Does that count? I don't think it's as effective as getting a good chin pop, but, and maybe that's just me, but like I remember the first time popped in the mouth. I remember the first time I laid a perfect punch to a dude's mouth. Like that's a core memory for me. Maybe it's bad that I have core memories revolved around fighting as a young child, but like it's a core memory for me and it taught me life lessons. Maybe that's just me having a rough childhood, but it worked for me. It'll work for you. It'll be all right. I can't wait to get a cow event. You'll get into this week, Bilius. I used to save up all my upgrades and tiers for that event. Remember, upgrades and tiers do not work in the upcoming cow update. They've removed that scoring mechanic. So just FYI, if you missed that earlier, they've removed that scoring mechanic. Scott says that was the hint. The next ship is the USS Galactica. Okay. Yep. I said that. Yep. The Steelers are beating the Bears. Y'all want an NFL score update? The Jets are beating the Ravens at halftime. That's kind of sad. Steelers are currently beating the Bears. Patriots over the Bengals at the moment. Giants over the Lions. We got the Packers beating the Vikings. The Colts are beating the Chiefs. And the Seahawks are currently beating the Tennessee Titans, who are 1-9 this year and likely going to pick number 1 again. Good job, Titans. So there you go. There's your score updates for any of you who are into sports balls. Happy Sports Ball Day. The missions keep talking about the USS Adelphi. Is that going to end up being the ship? It'd be nice with Suba, but not necessarily. You got knocked unconscious. You don't recommend it. Well, you got sucker punched, and I don't recommend getting sucker punched either. But to the point that I was making, Walter, did you wake up the next day? Are you here today? Are you fine today? Yes. Never good to get punched. Like, who wants to get punched? Especially sucker punch. Like, nobody. That's the worst. But my point was, bad things happen, but tomorrow comes, you'll be all right. That's how I approach a lot of the bad that I've had this year. Is the only point I was trying to make. Yeah, I also agree with Jack. Hopefully, not only did he get fired, hopefully you press charges. So, good old Rocky Balboa quote. It's not about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. Shout out to Rocky Balboa. Brain damage makes life fun. Nope. Didn't say that either. Y'all are starting to say wild, outlandish things on my channel. Scopely's going to sucker punch your wallet. That's why I don't give them access to it. Ooh, good call. Good call. All right, Mantis. Get that in. Check our Voyager. Oh, we can do a double pull here. Yeah, I'll just double pull it. We'll just double pull that. And then I need to go do some summonings so I can do the triple. But I'll just go ahead and double pull this. And that way I can grab both of those boxes. It's going to be upgrade my amalgam faster. And for when I do finally get a Fisha, max that out. He's spending Thanksgiving in jail? Good. He needs to be spending Thanksgiving in jail. You don't just go around sucker punching people. It's one thing for two grown men to get into a fight. It's another thing for you to go around sucker punching people. So. Oh, I do have warp range. The Voyager has the warp range. Duh. All right, y'all don't let me forget that. Brain Dig, you love reminding me. Remind me that my Voyager can go complete this mission. Remind me, please. All right, let's see. Any last minute comments and questions. It's a good movie, but it can be confusing if you're not paying attention. I don't even know what you're talking about, James. Speaking of not paying attention, I'm lost. But I'm glad you're here. Thank you for being here. Let's see. Only care about what the new consistent, stable, and fun game will be updated. Well, good news, Pog. You got updated events this week, so hopefully you'll be happy. Hopefully you'll be happy. What'd you go to the hospital for? So, Aaron, I got COVID really bad, and it formed an infection in my throat, and I had to have emergency surgery to remove the abscess pocket that formed. It was forming at my vocal cords and next to my airway, and it was starting to occlude my airway, and I couldn't really talk. Anybody that was here back in August remembers me trying to make videos when I was really sick. Remember how I sounded terrible? That's why, if you were curious. So, I had COVID, got really bad, and then I had to go to the hospital and have surgery. Wasn't fun. I basically missed most of the month of August. And thankfully, the community reached out. Several of y'all donated to help pay for bills that month. And we're still working on paying that off now, but I'm very grateful to this community. So That's what happened. Anyway, we got to wrap it up because I got to get ready for this week's content for y'all because I got to make a lot of videos. With Thanksgiving. So make sure y'all have content. I appreciate y'all so much. Thank y'all for supporting my family. Don't forget to check out revduce.com. I do love y'all. I do appreciate y'all. And I hope y'all are having a fantastic day. I'll see you on the next one. If y'all need anything, message me on X, Facebook, Discord. We've got all the places, all the stuff. I appreciate y'all. Live long and plunder. Stay safe out there. Deuces. That's me. Catch you in the next Star Trek Fleeking Man video. And I am out.
An even better outro than the intro. For the Empire and glory to your house.